Welcome to the Talk Tonight podcast. We've got Cobain Jones. How is it going? You signed 19 years of age. I'm a fucking jealous man, mate. I'm a jealous man. And I'm jealous of that hair as well. I'll tell you something, right? Lockdown, I tried to grow my hair a little bit, but with work and all that kind of stuff, I have to keep doing it every morning and stuff. I went back to
get it gone.
Mate, I'm going to have to cut this off, so I love it, mate. I love it.
Nice one.
Cobain Jones. Firstly, I want to ask the name, mate. Parents, family, were they into Nirvana? Is that the reason?
Yes, my parents were very big Nirvana fans, particularly my mum. She was into it since she was like 14 when they come out. And so they got the name Cobain. I think it's stuck. I think they had it before I was born. I'm not too sure, but yeah, they were Nirvana fans.
I bet you've been asked that a million times. So
too many times. I think it's been said wrong more times than I've been asked.
Is it? Yeah.
Has it come about? Yeah. People have called me like Cobain, Cobain, loads, like really bad names. Corbin.
Yeah, I could have got that wrong. I should have asked you first, shouldn't I?
Oh, it's all good.
Right, mate. So let's do a bit about you. Where are you from, and how old are you? And that'll do for now because we'll move on with the questions. But yeah, go on. Explain where you're from, pal.
I am from Greater Manchester, Staley Bridge, Staley Vegas, big up there, and I am 19 years of age. So yeah, I'm doing all this, and I'm not even 20 yet. I'm 20 in February. So
mad.
It's all a massive step up because I started doing music. I released my first demo track at 17, and now I'm 19. It's only 2 years, so it's gone so quick.
It's mate. I'm actually stunned because there's so many people. Have you heard of Andrew Cushion? He's on the way up as well, and I'm
supporting him.
Hey?
I'm supporting him in Scunthorpe actually.
Oh, are you? Yeah.
In February next year, so that's going to be good. It's a social distance gig, depending obviously COVID and the vaccine or whatever. But yeah, I'm supporting him in February. So
where
can't
about
wait for that.
Scunthorpe again? Because he's doing he's like a homecoming gig. He's doing, isn't he? Up by
that's at the Riverside in Newcastle, I think.
That's the one.
But he's doing it's Scunthorpe. It's on the east of England. It's like in Yorkshire, I think. Hopefully that isn't wrong.
Do you know what though, mate? I'll tell you something, right? It's nice to see as a guitar music fan. It's nice to see it back on the rise again. You know, you've got all these James Arthurs and all that. Yeah, you can play and everything else, but turn into like poppy stuff. And I listen to your stuff, and then Andrew Cushion as well. And there's a lad called Gaz Price, and there's more coming up. And it's like, I think the world is ready for guitar music again. What
Definitely.
do you think?
I think so. I think especially where I'm from in Tameside, which is a borough in Greater Manchester, there's a massive music scene that's coming about already. And you've got Wigan, you've got the Lathams, you've got Stanley's Garden Party, and then you've got Tameside, got me, Callow Youth, Narrow Margin, and then you've got like Oldham, Chadderton, Scutlers, Dirty Laces. Like around North Manchester, you've got them kinds of bands, and you've got us. So Manchester as a whole, Greater Manchester, it's just huge at the minute. I feel
that's where the Verve are from, it's where
the Verve, yeah. From. It's going to be a massive scene in the next 3-4 years, definitely. Hopefully it reaches the heights of Manchester and it has that cultural impact. But I have a good feeling about it that it's going to kick off and it's going to be a massive boom again, like it was in the early 90s.
Fucking ace, mate, because it's all I've been waiting for ages. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've because I only got into music when I was 15. Like 15. I've had
like
music
4 years ago, mate.
I know. I had a musical household, like, you know what I mean. But nothing stuck to me, if that makes sense. Like I knew Charlatans tunes, I knew Manic Street Preachers, Stone Roses, Oasis, all this, but nothing stuck until Stone Roses started playing at the Etihad, and then I was like, right, I got to get into them now. Because I'd look like a massive tool if I weren't. If I were just.
I was listening to your. It's an album EP? It's an album.
It's a demo EP.
Like an unplugged cut type thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
First
very
of all, what was the
DIY.
idea behind like putting an unplugged up as kind of the first thing you've done? I thought it's very interesting because I love unplugged stuff anyway.
It is quite interesting, but yeah, because the first thing I released was Listen, it's my demo single, but that's like full band demo.
Yeah.
But yeah, as an actual body of work, my first thing was that Unplugged EP. It's because I was live. I didn't have a band to actually go out and play live. So let's say I made the Ravenhead demos, which was basically unplugged, but what Listen sounds like. And if I released that, it would have been a really bad, it wouldn't have looked good on me. It would have been a quite shocking perception. I'm going to watch Cobain Jones tonight, and I turn up with my Martin. It's like, a bit boring. But yeah, that Unplugged EP, we got the idea, me and my parents, to put that out because we felt like it'd represent me a lot more.
I think it's clever. I think it's clever because your guitar music, right? And it's the first time I've heard someone come straight away with your guitar and put a big splash. Do you know what I mean? Into the ocean with it, because that's what you're about. Then you can bring the band in afterwards and start building it around that. Do you know what I mean?
did it backwards. I've done it backwards, and it's very it's so unconventional when you see someone with an acoustic, and it's like, whoa, this is new, because it has to be good, and if it's not good, it's not going to take off. So, but then again, you've got acts like Andrew Cushion who have took off from doing that as well, and it's a very hard market to get into. But acoustic music was never my stronghold. It's just come about over the past couple of months, ever since I released that Unplugged EP, because I've always wanted to be in a band, which I'm now setting up.
Did you record that yourself? Did you, that EP?
Right
at home?
in this very room.
Fucking
with
hell,
this
it's got
this
a
very
hell of a
microphone.
nice sound to it, mate. You've got the guitar sounding absolute fucking bang on, and everything's just how I like music. I mean, I've got to go into your music, and what I heard in your music when I started playing it is it's very Lennon-y for a start. You've got a bit of Oasis, bit of Liam kind of, because Liam's, for me, has become all of a sudden this amazing singer again. I'm just like, fucking, where's that come from? and then I don't know if you've heard of a band, you must have done, called the DMAs.
Yes, DMAs, yeah.
Inspiration or not? Because I can hear a lot of, you've got a mix and then you've got your own uniqueness on top of that. So go.
I don't think, no, the DMAs aren't an inspiration. Just mainly because I've not really.
I think it's because they did that Unplugged album. It's kind of
and I've not really got into the music. Like, I've sat down and gone, I'm going to listen to all the 3 albums. Is it 3 albums they've come out?
They've got an EP, 2 albums. The last album feel a little bit.
The Glow, yeah. I'd sit down and listen to him, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan in that conventional sense.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Beatles, obviously, you could tell by the wall behind me.
A lot of Beatles, a lot of Lennon. You must have listened to a lot of Lennon.
I've got every single Beatles vinyl, where every single one. I've got Lennon compilations. They're my main inspiration for that. But as a sound, since all this happened, it's more Roses, Oasis, Charlotte.
Oasis, a lot of Oasis.
Spiral Carpets, Seahorses, all these 90s bands. And yeah,
I interviewed Chris Elm the other day from the Seahorses.
He's a lovely bloke. I've supported him last year, actually.
Have you? Yeah. Where was that, mate?
It was at Rose and Monkey in Manchester, and I played Love Is the Law with him on stage, which was quite memorable. Yeah, it was one of the defining moments of my life. I could be John Squire for 3 minutes. My legs were shaking. I was absolutely nervous.
Was it that bad? Did you perform well though?
Yeah, I performed. I'd say I would. I could have done better a little bit, but it was the nerves. And then Tom Ingley was in the audience from Spiral Carpets. So it was like, whoa, these are my idols. This is all whoa, your head goes dizzy and that. It's like, whoa, I got to do this now straight away, defo.
But when you first started, was just like the singing, did it just come, or, have you had to work at it a little bit? Any lessons or anything like that?
No, I've never had a lesson. It's when I was a kid, I used to sing, but get up on karaoke in my pub when I was 7 or 8. But when you're a kid and you have that confidence, you can just do whatever you want. You don't care what people think. Used to do that. Went on a talent show at my primary school, didn't win. Karaoke weren't that great, so I stopped that at 2008. I was 9. No, 7, I think. So yeah.
7? Jesus
So
Christ.
so
So you got
stop
some
that.
experience in performing before you got to this 15 years old and started playing the guitar.
I'd say yeah, but it goes after time because I
Yeah,
got really, really like conscious about what I liked and what I wanted to do, like
yeah,
singing. And like my mum always wanted me to sing in my teen years because she knew I could, but I
yeah.
never did. I was scared of doing it.
Mm,
So I think it's when I started my first college and I actually started to sing, even though it
yeah.
was quite terrible. I started to learn and get my vocals a lot better, and over time, I've it definitely improved.
Strengthen, just it's just a muscle, isn't it? At the end of the day, you
Hundred
just got to
percent.
keep singing. Like, I mean, we'll talk about that actually as a random question. I mean, your vocals and stuff like that with no gigs. Have you been keeping on top of it? You know, singing at home, and you've got to keep on top of it. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I've been rehearsing with my band at the moment, so it's there. It's
yeah, yeah.
it's it's getting there. Like I've been doing covers online. I've been
Yeah.
doing them isolation with the Beatles, and yeah, I've done. I think I did. I think I've only done one or two gigs since lockdown. Like
Have
one
you?
of
Yeah,
them,
is that
like
all?
them outdoor seating where it's
Yeah, yeah. Not the
like
same.
like 10, 15 people on like 3 tables. I did
Mm,
one of them, and I felt good doing it. I felt really like, and this has to happen again. But like my first gig back properly will be with a band, I think.
will it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you got used to like singing over a noisier back? Do you know what I mean? You've got to start singing a bit louder.
yeah, because with my singing style, it's very like I drag it out a bit when it comes to acoustic. I like to make it a bit soft.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm live, it's a bit harder and it's a bit not harsh.
Got to push a bit more.
It's not Liam Gallagher at Glastonbury 2004. It's like you got to basically just you don't shout, but you got to project it where it cuts
Mm,
off really slowly, so like your voice
yeah.
doesn't go.
Mm,
But like acoustic, I can sing whatever, whenever, like however I want. So
yeah.
that's
Is that your
that's the main.
preferred way of singing and your preferred way of performing? Because a lot of people say that acoustic. I love listening to acoustic stuff. If you put an album out with a band, right, it's the first thing I do. If I like a band or I like a song, the first thing I do is go and look for an acoustic version on YouTube
Yeah,
or something. It's just what I do because I like to hear the stripped down part, and then I kind of vision you in a room, writing it somewhere, and it's more raw for me. So
yeah.
is it something that you prefer, or
For me, like I like go to live performances with bands, but then acoustic, yeah, I like performing with. I've never performed with a band, but I will like the notion. I like the notion of performing with a band,
yeah,
but acoustic is the way I like to sing as me. But
yeah,
I can't sing in my acoustic voice with a band because it just wouldn't work.
yeah,
So I'd have to go with the flow essentially, and what do they call it? They like adapt
yeah?
to different surroundings. So that's how I do it.
What's your songwriting process, mate? Do you just sit there having
Yeah,
tea and just be, oh shit, there's something I remember from the past that bothered me. I'm going to quickly go upstairs now and
it's it,
write a song.
it's very all over the place, I reckon, because listen, when I wrote that was my first song I ever wrote,
Yeah,
and that
that's mad. That is because a lot of
had
people have to write loads of shit songs to get to good ones.
to get to good ones. I got lucky then, but yeah, so I wrote the lyrics. I had the lyrics done
Oh,
first.
did you? That's surprising.
So because I was annoyed about what was going on in my life at the time
Yeah,
and where I live and all that, so I just wrote this down in my notes, but it was like a poem.
yeah, yeah.
Listen was a poem, really, like spoken word. So I wrote it down. I was like fuming writing this. Listen, out of the blue, and then I played my electric guitar and I did this little like ditty, not like the chords, but like lead.
Yeah,
And then from then I started recording it where I'm sat now
yeah.
on my computer, and it just
It's crazy
spawned.
that, isn't it? It's talking
Yeah,
to someone who's signed and everything else. Like he's sitting where his material came from. Like, do you know what I mean?
where this whole space is where I wrote every song apart from one. But other than that, yeah,
Obviously,
this room.
you're too young to be having your own gaff and that. You're at home
Oh
with your
yeah,
parents still, yeah. So
yeah,
they just keeping you grounded.
I'm very
I
lucky.
suppose it's actually quite easy for you to stay grounded at your age at the moment with lockdown and everything. It's probably why we're seeing a lot of people come through, because they've had to go and do what they're good at. Right, I'm bored here. I'm going to fucking do something good. So suppose for people like you, this hasn't been a bad thing.
Oh no, of course not. Because like nowadays, you can't get away with being up your arse. You just can't, because people will have that opinion on you anyway, but even before they know who you are. So you can't be up your arse. And then you've also got like all this with what was it? Like, yeah, so with the attitude and where everything comes from, it's just a massive like thing. I'm glad everyone's coming together and actually making it in the scene.
Yeah.
Because most of the bands I know are signed now, and it's just completely mental to me.
Loads of guitar music in it. It's great to see.
It's a big boom, I think. It's something that's
so nice. It's almost like going back to you're saying that you weren't really you weren't there in the 90s, right? To be honest. I'm a little bit older than you, but it's like, obviously you've listened to 90s music, you've got Oasis and everything else. So for me, it's taken me back to the 90s at the moment. DMAs, for me, they brought guitar music back, and then all of a sudden it's people like you and everything else that's coming through. So that's your songwriting process, mate. That's very interesting. Now I want to talk about, who are you signed by, because a lot of people would like to know, and also what was it like? What happened that day? It's just random, was it, or was it a build up to it, or did someone just go ring you, email you, go, "Oh yeah, we want to sign you"?
It was such a long process. It was like one of the most, like, especially because it was early lockdown, it was one of the most tiring processes to wait for emails and wait for terms and stuff. But yeah, I'm signed to Run On Records and Modern Sky UK, which is the home of the Coral. The Coral are signed to Run On Modern Sky. You've got Jamie Pollock out of Vida.
Jamie Pollock,
and Modern Sky, like Latham's, Blinders, Red Rum Club.
Latham's, are they Latham's as well?
Management now.
Management.
They used to be signed to Modern Sky, but they're on an island now. But yeah, so you got Abby Ozard, Red Rum Club, Latham's, and then Blinders as well. So I'm signed to them, and so I got an email off Run On Records' CEO Andrew.
Or just random?
Yeah, out of the blue, and I was just like, "Whoa, interest, whoa!" But obviously, I got like, I think 2 weeks prior, I got like a spam email, like a fake email saying, "We're from Warner Music South Africa. We'll fly you out. We'll fly you out to South Africa, and we'll pay you 250 grand."
Is that because your email address has been on places where you've been posting and making?
Yeah. So I just got this spam email. It was nothing. It was like spelling errors, and then I got this email through, and it said, "Hi, I'm
spelling errors. First one to look for in it."
I'm the CEO of Run On Records. I work with Modern Sky, so I'm like, "Whoa, I've heard Modern Sky. I'm interested. I'm on board at this point." So then what happened then? I quickly emailed him back, and I was like, "Sounds great." And then he was asking like, "When am I playing?"
Trying to keep it cool.
Where am I playing? Because it was my first proper interest, you see. So. And I said, I'm supporting Dirty Laces in Manchester, and he couldn't make it. But I was supporting Mark Morris out of the Blue Tones on the 6th of March. This was my last gig before lockdown. Lucky as anything. And then I played that. He come to watch me with his wife. And I messed up on Seahorses Blinded by the Sun. I got the chord.
That's one of my favourite ever tunes, that, mate.
I couldn't find the chord. It was the first chord on the chorus, which is A minor. So I was like, I can't find it. I was walking around the stage like laughing, like trying to like joke it off. I fought myself back. I was good.
Did you? That's the main thing when it's live. As long as you can crawl it back, they get more impressed by that, mate.
Definitely. And it was my second to last song. Did that and listen, went off stage, was a bit embarrassed, but it didn't really matter. And then we spoke with Andrew, and then we felt that something was good. It was brewing. And then after a couple of, like a month later, I was talking to Alfie Skelly and Andrew and Dave Pitchling, who's the CEO of Modern Sky. And I was sending them demos and like stuff like that. And then they just went, yeah, we're interested. We feel your material's good enough for us. And
Fucking hell, what a day, man.
I was just like, wow. And then after that, they sent me terms through, got a solicitor, sorted that out. Then we had to wait back and forth with contract terms, like 20%, 5%, 3%, 6%, you know, these
All
little
figures,
these little tiny things. Sorted that out. And then I signed the contract on the 20th of May.
Fucking
and
hell.
that
Lovely.
day was just mental. And it was one of the best days ever, just signing.
Massive celebration with the family and that.
Yeah, with my immediate family because of lockdown and stuff. I rang every family member who I could think of, and I just went, "I'm signed." Woo! so yeah, and it was a good day as well because my cousin died on that day 14 years ago.
Yeah,
but that day is now a good positive.
So you've got a negative, and then it's like a shining light over it. Like
it was perfect. It was just such a perfect mix of things, and it was just such good timing, I think. So yeah, that was the story of being signed to a record label.
So you reckon? I was going to ask you about your best and worst gigs. Do you reckon that would kind of be classed as one of your worst ones because you knew someone was watching you? You know, when you're best blinded by the sun up.
I'd say it was one of my best ones just because of the opportunity.
It could be your best
that come after that. I'd say my worst gig. I've never had a bad experience at a gig where it's like I've come to a venue and it's shocking or whatever, and I've like fought a promoter.
Yeah,
it's my personal like performance, and I've never really had a bad performance in the sense of like I've messed every song up, voice broke, did this, did that, ruined it. But I'd say Band on the Wall last year, I played Wonder.
Right.
And I had to change how I sang that song after it because it's like Who You Will Be. Well, I did high and our voice cracked really bad.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, and it shattered the room how bad it was.
Was it?
and I played Listen after that.
Yeah.
So I went back to because it's in the same key. Yeah, so I went back to that part and I smashed it. So I saved my skin. Luckily. But I'd say that was my worst performance. But other than that, I wouldn't say I've ever had a bad gig.
Yeah. So
I think I've just had positive gigs, but my best gig ever, definitely Kendall Calling, Tim Peake stage, 100%.
What's the future hold, man, for the for gigging? What have you got planned? Because I did a band called, I don't know if you heard of the Crooks.
Yeah, the Crooks, yeah.
Yeah, because they did something with This Feeling not long ago. Like a performance, and they're up and coming. That's a band that's up and coming. They're signed as well.
Yeah.
Do you know of them?
Yeah, they're from Birmingham, aren't they? And
yeah, I think it's Birmingham. Or is it Birmingham? I can't remember, to be honest. Is it Chesterfield?
That's Sheffield, I think. Chesterfield.
They're from all over the gaff. All these people, you forget where they're from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard of the Crooks, and yeah, with touring next year, it's going to be a big one. I'm booked in for some really good gigs that I can't say just yet.
Yeah.
But festivals, gigs, touring, it's going to be mental next year.
Festivals. I've said it in a previous podcast and stuff like that, mate. I'll tell you something now. The best thing to come from COVID and the first thing to bounce back more than ever will be music. Because I've said so many times. If my mate says to me, "You're coming out to see Cobain Jones," and I hadn't heard of you, I'm like, "Fucking hell, I've been sat in for 12 months, mate. I'm fucking definitely going." You know what I mean?
Of course.
So you're going to get all these people who's all of a sudden interested in listening to anything, and then they can become fans. Do you know what I mean? So I think music is the first one back. I do for everyone.
I've had this thought actually. What you're saying. With like music, like any band can put on a gig and it'll sell out just because it's live music.
Yeah.
But what I've thought recently is when you're looking at it, it'll be like that fad will die off after like a couple of months. You know,
so you've got still shine. Do you know what I mean?
Big bands come up on tour and stuff, and that sells out and all that. So these bands will not matter as well. If you get what I mean, you know, like if let's say you put a gig on and your mates are like, "I can't come tonight," and it's like a really bad excuse, that'll start cropping up again, even though they took live music for granted 12 months ago. That's what I feel. But the dream is every gig sells out just because it's a gig.
Yeah,
That's my dream anyway. That's what I hope happens.
As an example, like last year, I was supposed to go and see DMAs in a church in London. I had tickets, and it was just like, it's a 4-hour long drive, man. You know, I'm around the corner from you, basically, like north, like, and that was the reason why I missed it. And every day since then, like lockdown and all that, I look at them, I watch them, I think, what a dickhead! Why did you not? Do you know what I mean? I'll never, ever miss another gig. No matter who it is, I'm going to go and see them. Do you know what I mean? I'll come and see you at some point, mate. Do you know what I mean? I will come and see you, like.
Oh, it'll be a good night when you watch me live, definitely, with the band as well. It'll just it'll be electric, definitely.
How's it sounding with the band? Proper loud, decent, like?
Sounds mint. I feel it's coming on really well. And
you gelled, yeah?
Yeah, we knew each other. We know each other.
Oh, do you?
And it's because my bass player, I knew him. My bass player and my drummer, they were in a band for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
And the drummer lives like up the road from me. My guitarist, my lead rhythm guitarist, he went college with me, my first college.
Yeah, fucking hell, it's good, isn't it?
And because what's mad?
Did you get a choice in that? Did you get a little hand in that? You know, I want him, or
I just chose him. I just went, you can be in my band. I wanted him, you see. And what's mad? My bass player and my drummer, the band who I was in, they were the first band I supported in my first ever gig. So like after that year, the turn of events, it's ridiculous. It's mental.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. Fair play to you. Jesus Christ. I want to know a bit more about the label before I love you and leave you, mates. Restrictions. Have they got any? Because there's a lad who asked me to ask you this. He's a musician. His name's Ashley Stacey, actually. And he wants to know because he obviously, everyone wants to get signed and everything else. So there's like things that people would like to know before that happens, if it ever happens. Yeah. It's like, you know, what are these first things, you know, restrictions? You're not allowed to say certain things, you're not allowed to do certain things, you know. Is there anything in contracts? I know you're not allowed to talk about everything, but is there anything you can tell us about that?
This is where I wish I was media trained. Right, so
you don't have to answer it, mate,
you can't talk about, obviously, if it like personal contract terms, you can't really say it. It's more respect, if you know what I mean, like between the two parties. I think my EP is common knowledge now because of like my press releases and stuff that's come out. But really, it would have been kept quiet. But because of the estate tour and all this, and Wonder's coming out on Friday, which I'm excited about. I don't know if it's by the time it's come out, this podcast.
I'm not too sure. That's Dan will sort that out for you.
But Friday. So Friday, Wonder's going to be out December 4th, and I'm going to be in Parr Street working with Chris Taylor.
Yeah.
On the last track of the EP.
Yeah.
And I'm buzzing about that. So yeah, things you can't talk about. I think it's totally different with an independent and a major, because I think a major there's a lot more restrictions because of the money putting in and the apps and the you know what I mean? It's a lot of money in a major deal, like multi-million-pound deals.
Yeah.
But like an independent, it's like Modern Sky and Run On, it's like a family, so it doesn't really matter. It's more of it's like a nice.
Thing is, it's mad though. The songs you've written, they own your songs now. Is that a mad feeling?
They don't own me. They own the recordings of said tracks, but songs they don't, because obviously that'd mean
yours.
Sold me soul. But that
sold me soul, mate.
that doesn't happen anymore. The brilliant label, Run On Modern Sky, fantastic. The way they manage artists and the way they put stuff together, it's just brilliant. And I couldn't have wished to sign for a better label, to be honest, you know, in this stage of my career.
Yeah. It's the certain things, like, you know, when you first, you know, you're sending demos and stuff like that, you know, I assume you've got fucking shitloads of songs, because I'm surely that's something they're going to want to be positive, that you've got to bring to the table straight away, like a catalogue. You've surely, like, stuff we haven't heard that they fucking love and think it's
all in the bank. It's all in the bank at the minute. I've not sent every single song.
Yeah,
I've got plenty of songs, but that's personal to even me.
Yeah.
That's
nice though, isn't it?
It's my secret weapon.
If
you get what I mean. Even regardless of any parties or anything, it's like I know I've got X amount of songs.
Yeah.
So I can pull them out when I can, and I can't wait. They're all great songs, and I believe they all have a meaning, and they all will touch people's hearts, and it'll go out to a wider audience, and people will respect that.
That's why I said at the beginning, I think you've done it the right way, because you've done it you've done it very, very smart, mate, because you've done an unplugged, and now you can fucking bring the unplugged with a band and just make these songs again, basically.
Yeah, 100%. It's unreal. Like, doing it backwards, obviously, in some cases is a bit like,
it's different. It's different.
It's a bit risky. It's a bit risky, but risk equals reward. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. And it paid off with a record deal. So it's swings and roundabouts, did it really?
Mate, listen, you've been an absolute pleasure, mate. I wish you all the best.
You
too, anything you want to say before we leave?
Stream Wonder, which will be out on Spotify, I think, when this goes out, and also Stream Hooked. So
I'm pretty sure you'll do you a solid there and get it up, mate.
On all major platforms, all Spotify, Apple Music, stream both those tunes.
I reckon you should do send us a couple of little tickets, some backstages. We'll do you a little live interview at the back of the stage, maybe. Have a think about it anyway.
Yeah, will do, mate. Nice one.
Thank you very much, Cobain. It's been much appreciated, and it's been a pleasure talking to you, mate. Good luck for the future, man.
It's all good. Nice one. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.